It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson, and it is my pleasure to be with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics going up against the Houston Rockets at Toyota Center. Looking at Houston, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. And guys, the fans always enjoy hearing stories from your playing days. Let's talk teammates. Shaq, who were your favorite guys to play with over the years?
You know, everyone loves the Shaq, and Shaq has 4 rings, but I'm saying it here.
They all love
real
the
life. Yeah, everybody loves Shaq.
Okay.
I'm sexy, handsome, and qualified. That's what Shaq stands
I
for.
think my question was, who were your favorite teammates?
Let me finish, Ernie. Let me finish. I'm quick to say, hey, I got 4 rings, but I could
You
not,
are quick to say that.
Could not do without Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw was a guy that always looked for me, similar with when how Kenny played with the King. He came down, made sure I got my shots off first. Derek Fisher, we all remember the .04 shot. Rick Fox was a hustler to go out and play. Big Shot Bob.
Oh, wow.
Saved
One of
me
my
so
favorites,
many
too.
times.
So he's won both of our favorites.
Big Shot Bob saved me so many times. I would probably only have one without Big Shot Bob. And Nick Van Exel, even though me and Nick didn't win together, we had a great time.
Well, obviously, he said Big Shot. Hakeem, Sam Cassell, Robert Horry, Vernon Maxwell. But one of my favorite of all time, Chucky Brown.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite teammate is Chucky Brown of all time.
You didn't say Otis Thorpe?
No, but Otis was cool.
Oh, my
but
God.
But Chucky Brown was my favorite teammate of all time, man.
Guess who I would say my favorite teammates are?
Who?
Who's that? It's us? Oh, Ernie.
Really?
I thought you were going to say
Thanks,
another guy
Ernie.
who wasn't here.
I'm getting choked up a little bit. Thanks for joining us.
Need some tissue.
At guard, number 2, Patrick Beverly. At small forward, standing 6'8", number 1, Trevor Ariza. Starting at the other forward position, at 6'9", number 8, Michael Beasley. At center, 6 feet 10 inches, number 15, Clint Capella. And starting at guard, number 13, James Harden. The head coach of your home team. Let's hear it for your Houston Rockets.
We have an interconference affair lined up for you today as the Boston Celtics come in for this one. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And so off the tip, it's Boston. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. On the floor for Boston. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Jay Crowder out there with Amir Johnson. And it's Sullinger in at the 5 down low.
And guys, James Harden, much criticized for his defense a couple seasons ago. I really felt like he was dialed in at that end, and he has improved mightily over that season.
And so the Houston Rockets get the first points of the ball game. Thomas up top, defended by Beverly. Bradley, no one around him. That's in there. Thomas with the assist.
And you can see he just caught a glimpse of the open man on the perimeter and immediately got him the basketball.
From deep, Harden. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge.
always.
Now we'll go to DB, who had a chance to talk with head coach Brad Stevens. Doris?
Kevin, speaking to him about their game plan, he said it is all about taking care of the ball and not forcing anything. He said the one team that beats us more than any other is ourselves. If we get sloppy on offense, then it'll be a very tough game for us to win. It's something I stressed to them before the game. Let's see if they heard the message, guys.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. And getting good shots, guys, creating those quality opportunities is something Coach hopes to see here early on.
And you know, it's really something every coach wants to see, but I know where he's coming from. I mean, they've got to be smart with their shot selection if they hope to win this game.
And, you know, guys, getting that good shot selection is going to depend on their ball and player movement. I mean, they have to be free-flowing, not stagnant.
Here is Harden after the basket by Boston. He dishes it to Beasley. Lets it go with a three. Crowder pulls it in. The Celtics have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Sullinger, a screen on Harden. Bradley drives in. Here's Crowder. Knocks down the 3-ball. Crowder's got his first 3 points of the game.
And guys, we've seen teams hire college coaches with no NBA experience before. It hasn't always worked out, but for Boston, they have to be very pleased with Brad Stevens.
Now, here is Harden. Shot clock at 5. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
And Brad Stevens now in his 3rd year coaching the Celtics. Greg, I know you admire him from afar. Good fit for the franchise. Good fit, Clark, for a young team.
Agree with you completely on all of that. He stresses team unity and selflessness and sets the example and tone with his demeanor.
And the Rockets with possession here after the basket by Boston. Inside, here's Capella. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
That was some slick passing from Harden on that one.
Thomas against Beverly. Johnson sets the screen for Thomas. The layup off target. For Houston, they've gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Here's Beasley. And Boston with the rebound. Kicks it out to Harden. There's the dish to Ariza. Sullinger with the rebound. Boston's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Thomas goes in. Now the feed to Bradley. Great look, but off the mark.
And you really thought that was going to be a gimme, but unable to convert.
Yeah, and a little self-talk, angry self-talk for himself after that miss.
Guys, I'm not sure there's a better star player who's a better fit for his team's philosophy than James Harden, who reflects the Rocket system perfectly.
I don't think you're wrong on that, Kevin. I mean, the Rockets, an analytically minded team. They love layups, free throws, and threes. Harden can get all of those done.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. Anderson comes in for Michael Beasley. Gordon's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And Lewis Williams subbed in for Patrick Beverly. And there's a whistle that's going to go on James Harden. That's his first foul. .143 left here in the first quarter.
Oh, good D, but better O. It's almost as if they're just standing there.
Well said. Well, for the most part, they were just standing still, Clark.
Yeah.
And you know what, Kevin? He's not the most explosive player on the court, but if you give him a clear lane to the basket, he'll punch it on you.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam. Here's Thomas following the score by Houston. Stolen by Nene. On the wing, Gordon lets it go from deep. Rebound by Olynyk.
And Harden, either intentionally or not, is really the poster child for a new era of analytics that's starting to drive basketball. I mean, he generates a lot of points, but most importantly, he does it with tremendous efficiency, in part because he lives at the free throw line.
They can trade 2 for 1 here.
Would be the right move, I believe, right now.
Thomas against Harden. Thomas goes in and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on James Harden.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to give help. And of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
And the Rockets making a change here. Moniunas has checked in. Greg, you're talking about Isaiah Thomas before. Certainly his short stature limits him on Clark, the defensive side.
Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't rack up a ton of steals, given his instincts and quickness. I think he really focuses on making his impact at the offensive end.
6 on the shot clock. Stolen by Thomas. Here's Turner. That's in there. Thomas with the assist.
And he decides to go old school with the finger roll.
Here's Williams. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And the shot's good from Nene.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Thomas can't get it to go. Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. Houston on top.
Let's take him back.
And Amir Johnson re-signed in Toronto. He's been a big part of this team for years, and he talked about their great fan support in Toronto. A lot of fans south of the border in the U.S. are surprised when they learn how passionate, Clark, the fans in Toronto can be.
You know, Kevin, that's so true. I mean, when they get it going at the Air Canada Center, that place rocks. And it's great to hear Amir talk about how that pumps him up and makes him want to do it for Canada.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And when you consider how the Rockets are doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
Just the start they're looking for in this game. Solid offensively through the first.
Very crisp and sharp, not much stagnation at all on offense.
On the court right now for the Celtics. Bradley and Turner filling out the perimeter. Jay Crowder out there with Jared Sullinger. And it's Smart in at the point guard position.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now, here's Anderson. Moniunas dishes to Williams. He kicks it to Ariza. Fires for 3. The shot misses. So the Celtics will take it the other way. Bradley passes to Smart. Dishes it to Turner. Sullinger the screen. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Capella's checked in, and it's Beasley in for Ryan Anderson. Boston also with the sub. Johnson's checked in.
Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number 1 for them right now.
Now a timeout called by Houston. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
Kept alive And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Johnson's got it all tied up now for the Celtics. Rockets have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Williams kicks to Beasley. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game. Boston took a lot of steps forward last season with their coach, Brad Stevens. Still, though, their defense was near the middle of the road. That will need some tweaking.
Yeah, and you could say that seemed to be the limiting factor, Kevin, in how far they eventually went. Strange given how several years ago they were an offensive juggernaut.
Williams can't hit. The Celtics have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Turner dishes to Crowder. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. The Rockets have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. And it's Beverly missing. Turner passes to Bradley. Now here's Johnson. 8 points for him. And there's the call on Patrick Beverly. That's his first foul. James Harden, he's checked in for Houston. Isaiah Thomas, he's checked in for Boston. Harden against Bradley. 6 to shoot. Sullinger outside. They get it again. Johnson. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
It's been a good one for Johnson. He has 8 points and he's getting it done on the glass too.
You're right, Clark. He's done some real nice work on the inside.
And watching Amir Johnson, Clark, he seems so casual about silently destroying opponents in the paint, and he's carried that air about him almost his entire career.
You know what? He rarely has plays called for him, Kevin. He doesn't produce a bunch of highlights, but he's really potent. I mean, one of the league's best at defending opponents at the rim, grabbing in-traffic rebounds. Those both are valuable assets.
So it's Boston now. The Rockets making the shot. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Yep, the next one puts them on the line, so they've got to be careful the rest of the way.
Now here's Bradley from the low block. No good off the back of the rim.
And talking about Amir Johnson, he's really the last of a discontinued model, if you will. When the Pistons called his name in the 2005 NBA draft, the year before the rookie age limit was put in place, he became the last 18-year-old drafted into our league. And it did take him a number of years to kind of get up to the pro speed.
Harden's shot is off.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had early.
And Bradley gets it to go.
And the D just a step slow, reacting to the step back.
Guys, did you know not once in Johnson's 10 seasons has he averaged more than 11 points or 7.5 rebounds a game? Sometimes he doesn't even start. And yet, there's a certain sect of followers who feel Amir Johnson is among the most valuable, efficient players in the league.
Well, taking a look at Avery Bradley, his career's been kind of up and down. Greg started out in high school where he developed into one of the nation's top prospects in high school.
You know, it's a great point. And as a college freshman, really established himself as one of the top defensive guards in the country, won numerous awards, then enters the draft after only 1 year.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
You know, with Avery Bradley, he was the 19th pick in the draft for the Celtics. The outlook for him was great, but then ball handling and shooting injury concerns flattened out his development. He had a hard time getting over the hump for a few years, but he's over it now.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for Nene. Riza comes in for Michael Beasley. And Lewis Williams subbed in for Eric Gordon.
And, you know, getting back to Avery Bradley, he's been dynamite the last 2 years. He's finally found consistency with the mid-range jumper and plays a complete game of basketball. With just a little more seasoning, I really feel like the sky's the limit.
Now here's Anderson. Back to Williams. Here's Capella. Olynyk is covering. Harden against Thomas. Harden kicks to Capella. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got 3 assists in the game. Smart with the ball. He's against Williams. And Olynyk kicks to Thomas. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
A defensive breakdown there, no doubt about it. I mean, he's a guy you have to be focused on defensively.
And Harden with the stuff.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Here's your Rebco. Johnson the screen. Thomas gets a wide open look. Good on the triple. Thomas got 7 points in the game.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Ariza with the bucket.
Back at you. I mean, they immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading spray guns from long range. Trading blows from behind the arc.
And here is Thomas. And the rejection by Harden. And
Well, James, an impressive first half for you. What allowed you to come out so strong?
Just trying to be aggressive, trying to get out early and give a little spark to my teammates. And they followed along. So, it's just a matter of us not turning the ball over and getting stops.
You're not a bad guy to follow, James. Thank you so much. Over to you guys.
thank you, Doris. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of quarter number 3.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, this has been a good game here after one half. Everybody, welcome back to the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaq, Kenny Smith. James Harden was the man in the first. He had 14 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and inserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Boston?
What impressed me the most was the effort they put into the offensive glass. The second chance points really added up for them. Fighting through box outs, battling for position, they own the offensive boards.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
And really, all of a sudden, he's becoming their best distributor, doing a great job of orchestrating their offense.
Greg, typically that's not the role he usually plays. I'm not sure how comfortable he is in it, but they've needed him to make some plays today, and he's been able to do it to his credit.
Everly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Beasley out there with Trevor Ariza, and it's Capella in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 for Houston right now. And here we go. Harden heading to the hoop. Flushes it down to finish the break.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
It's no secret, Clark, what this Houston Rockets team wants to do. They want to get to the line, drive the lane, and hurt you from outside the arc.
And they'll do it all at a very fast pace. I mean, they're fun to watch. The pace is something that I think sneaks up on teams sometimes, Kevin.
Good point. And it comes off the front of the rim.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
And another 3 for Houston.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quicker. And no doubt the Rockets were one of the faster-paced teams in the league last year. When you have the firepower they do, you want it to become a scoring fest.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
A lot of the wins for the Rockets, guys, I thought last year came from just wearing down their opponent. I mean, you can keep up with their pace for a quarter, maybe 2, but it's very hard to sustain it for 48 minutes, shot for shot.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Stevens had some words for his team over the break. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Johnson. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. The other thing he stressed was the need to be disciplined on offense. He asked for good ball movement and good shot selection. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
And as always, Doris, thank you. And there's a whistle that's going to go on James Harden. That's his 4th foul of the contest. And the Celtics making a change here. Turner's checked in. Williams comes with a double team. Feeds to Crowder. To end the run. And he lays it up and in. Crowder's got 7 points in the game.
Well, for one, he hasn't let them down. But a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good.
And watching Jay Crowder, he can really beast you up, Greg, and take you out of your game. One of the most physical wings, I think, in the NBA.
And not the most flexible athlete, but he makes up for that with that strength that you mentioned. It allows him to control the pace. He's a bumper and a grinder and hitting a big 3 out of nowhere. So he's what we call a true gamer.
Here's Thomas following the score by Houston, and he's way off from outside.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costing.
Bradley dishes to Crowder. Right side Turner. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Looking at Jay Crowder, he got traded from Dallas to Boston in the Rondo deal last season. Nobody expected all that much from him. All he did was go out and become one of the most valuable players on that team.
When you talk about Jay Crowder, there are those that you win because of, and then there are guys like him that you win with. The guy who's going to take the charge, commit the hard foul, do what others won't, really shows the heart of a champion.
Timeout called the Rockets. And for Sullinger last season, further indication, Clark, that he needs to keep working on his conditioning.
And that was a concern coming into the league with Jared, is just how committed would he be to working on his body all the time and maintaining a level of conditioning that he needs. And injuries have been a part of that not being the case, but when he's out there, he's capable.
Nene, he's checked in for Houston. Risa comes in for Eric Gordon. Thomas kicks to Crowder. Sullinger against Nene. Left side, Bradley. There's the 3. Ariza with the rebound. Ariza's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
And talking about Sullinger, you wonder if he's been in the right scheme for the past couple of years. He's not a three-point shooter. He's a back-to-the-basket banger. You want proof? Only hit 28% from behind the arc last season, and that was his career high.
And here is Sullinger after Trevor Ariza just hit the 3. The pass to Crowder. Kicks it to Bradley. Shoots. No good. So Houston will take it the other way.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
On the topic of Sullinger, guys, he said publicly that people are doubting him, and he's right. Until he gets in better shape and stays that way, there will always be questions surrounding that part of his game. Hopefully for him going forward, he can be more Duncan than Diaw in the way he treats his body.
The 3 from Harden. Sullinger with the rebound.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
Now here's Crowder. 7 points in the game. Back to Bradley. Sullinger the screen. Bradley with the ball. Williams picks him up.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Thomas kicks to Crowder. Sullinger the screen. Here's Bradley. And it's off from 3-point range.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Nene has the open look. No good with the triple. Celtics trail by 18. Bradley drives in. To the inside. Here's Thomas. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Thomas got 9 points.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
And there's the whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That will be foul number 5 on him.
Substitution on the court.
Here is Thomas. He's got 9. It's blocked. Beats it. No good on that last second attempt there. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Rockets ahead as they wrap up the 3rd quarter with a 13-5 run. And we're coming right back after this break to get the 4th quarter underway. And we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Celtics trail by 19. On the court for the Celtics. Turner is out there with Smart. Then there's Jerebko. Then it's Olynyk. And it's Johnson in at the 4 slot. Turner passes to Smart. Johnson the screen. Smart dishes to Johnson. The second chance effort.
Houston foul call.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Rockets.
And they've made the long range look like a layup at times in this one, guys.
You know, something else I've noticed is just how many of their baskets have been set up by assists throughout the game.
Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of...
Oh, wow.
It's a beautiful jam.
I tell you what, young fella might need a little anger management right there after one of those dunks. How about the edge he puts on those?
I'm surprised the backboard survived that one.
You could see his eyes light up and those eyebrows go up too when he had a path to the rack.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Houston leading by 19 points. Gordon up on top. From deep. Kept alive by Houston. A few possessions into the 4th quarter, just over a minute played.
And sometimes he can hit that deep 3, but it's not a high percentage shot for him.
Yeah, even for him, that's out of his range.
Another shot, Turner, and the layup's good off the glass.
Yeah, how about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
And how thrilled must have Evan Turner been last season to get a second chance. Clark with the boost in minutes, confidence, coaching staff. His game almost just changed overnight.
Yeah, he's a guy who needs the basketball. He's such a good, solid playmaker and has excellent size. Never had a chance in Indiana to really handle the ball and play to his strengths because of Paul George and Lance Stevenson, but he found a nice niche in Boston.
Well, you know what he can do after watching him for so many years with the Buckeyes.
Yeah, he's terrific. Good basketball IQ, too.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Anderson comes in for Monty Eunice, and it's Williams in for Michael Beasley.
And how about that one-man fast break?
I love the power finish at the end of it, too.
Outside Williams. From deep three-point range, from beyond the arc, and then some. And the Rockets lead by 18.
And boy, did Evan Turner make the most of his second chance last season. Played with more focus, huge minutes for him with the Celtics. He may have found a home.
Smart with the ball. 4 on the shot clock. It's hauled in by Gordon.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
You know, it was a career year all around for Tucker last season. Still has work to do on his game, but showed he can contribute to a winning team. Very good value for his contract, too. You can never discount that.
Smart kicks to Johnson. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Last season, the Celtics had a solid 19-22 road record, Clark. Not the 500 mark most teams want, but a very good effort from a young team, and no one really expected that.
Yeah, and you think about this team that's still growing and has a lot of youth. I mean, that kind of road record, very impressive. Their fans should be feeling pretty good about what the future holds with this group.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Here's the screen. Here's Anderson, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And thinking back on the Celtics, on the road, their away record doesn't tell the whole story. They won their last 7 road games in that tremendous playoff push.
Another away from home note for the Celtics. They were 7-1 in road games against the rest of their division. Their road play was the driving factor as to why they made the playoffs.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Gordon. And James Harden subbed in for Lou Williams. From deep, Harden's shot is good. Harden's got 18 points just in the second half.
Strong work for him at the offensive end, helping them to maintain that lead.
Count that one.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
A quick shot there, and it's off target. Celtics trail by 18. Pass to Johnson. He feeds it to Sullinger. Outside for Thomas. Pass to Johnson. Stolen away. And it's the Rockets on the break. Beverly with the ball.
Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam.
And if you thought this game was over already, you're probably right.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's staring us right in the face, and we've been around long enough to know when a game is over, and this one is in that category.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
And guys, Patrick Beverly, a perfect fit for the Rockets alongside James Harden. You know, Beverly is in that complementary role as a 3 and D guy. And remember, also, even though he's the point guard, he doesn't need the ball to be effective. He's good at just spotting up for threes, and he's a hounding on-ball defender.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. Crowder kicks to Johnson. He gets that one to drop. He's now 5 of 12.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
Rockets leading by 18. To the inside. Here's Decker. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. And Beverly plucked out of Europe by the Rockets. Clark, he signed a new contract this past offseason.
And a nice value for the Rockets, Kevin. I mean, he's a player whose impact on the game really transcends the stat sheet. That's often the case for those guys that are all defense caliber players.
The shot by Thomas. And another basket for Boston.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Rockets.
And it may be a comfortable win for him, Steve, and in the end, but, you know, they had to weather a few storms along the way, Clark, and that's all part of the story.
That's right, Kevin. I mean, this was by no means a runaway that it might appear to have been. I mean, it was a scrappy performance all the way through.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Harden. A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
And the shot's good from Crowder.
And they're clearly finishing strong here, but not enough time to pull it out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to end on a high note. Too bad this run didn't develop sooner for him.
Bradley passes to Crowder.
Looking at the game for Crowder, He has 9 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
And when it's all said and done, I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to have a few more. Well, you could see a change in the play with the Celtics after the trade deadline last year. Adding Isaiah Thomas gave them some pop off the bench and really created some balance for them offensively.
Some changes for Boston. Kelly Olynyk checked in for Jared Sullinger. Jerebko comes in for Johnson. Young is subbed in for Bradley.
And the Rockets have lost out on some free agent wars the past few years. They have remained competitive, but you wonder what could have been if they landed or kept some of those big names.
Pass to Jerebko, puts it up from 12. That drops.
The assist, Isaiah Thomas.
And they can just dribble the ball until the buzzer.
Yeah, exactly. They got to be happy with the outcome here.
Elated, you're right.
Houston foul call. The name.
All right.
That's his first personal foul. Shooting for Houston, Isaiah Thomas.
First one falls for him.
2 shots.
Good on both. Seven seconds left in the fourth quarter. Nene. So we see Houston taking the W here. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor, and they did that.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, I'm here with James Harden. Congratulations on this win. It was a team effort, aided by this electric home crowd atmosphere. What made the difference?
We just trying to play solid defense, talk to each other, help each other out. That was amazing tonight. You know, it was unbelievable. Like I said, I'm happy for our guys. And, you know, we got a good victory at home.
Communication's so key. James, thanks for the time. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. See you next time.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden. He came out of the locker room at halftime and was immediately on fire. That third quarter was his, and he did not hesitate to exert his will.
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow. I'm getting jealous, and he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
That was the James Harden we've come to know and love, a player that brings nothing but fear to players that have to guard him. I've said this for a while now. He's the best one-on-one player in the NBA. And even if it's not a one-on-one situation, even if you throw the kitchen sink at him, he still gets the job done. It's the confidence, the drive, and the spirit that makes James Harden a superstar.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.